Hello and welcome back to another day on the island hidden in the fog. Last time we got lucky and built a cemetery. This time I want to see if we can keep the luck going. Anyways, I want to continue working on the island and I have a few things that I want to fix today. So let's get started. First, I want to start with removing these pansies. I need to get these out now before they start spreading like crazy. Almost done digging up flowers. I've got one more to go and then I'll need to head to Nook's Cranny and sell these. Ooh, let's try to get this balloon. I feel like it's been a while since I've tried to catch one. We never speak of this again. Got it? I feel like Beau is gonna ask to move soon. I don't know why, I just feel like it, so I'm gonna move his house preemptively for the new villager. I think I've just accepted the fact that Gonzo's gonna be here forever. Anyway, Beau's house is gonna be a placeholder for Blair, so that way I can have a little bit more of my beach back. And finally we can get around to the main task of the day, redoing the farm. I'm gonna start with removing all of the decorations and produce and probably the pathing as well. Thankfully I'm happy with the tree placement, so I won't have to dig up any of those. But this is probably going to take me quite a while, so let's speed this up. The farm layout has been bothering me for a little while and I haven't been able to figure it out. You mostly just see bare dirt and a little checkout stand. And I want to change that, so I'm going to be moving the produce so that way it's the first thing you see when you cross the bridge. I want to add a little bit of character to this farm, so I'm going to be using mixed soils. I'm just not sure how I want to lay them out yet. We can worry about that later because I think we should focus on our path right now, making sure we fit one in before we start going too crazy with the farm. Otherwise, there's a good chance I might forget to give Nan a path to her house. This time around, I am going to be doing a bit more of a splotchier path. The last path was a bit too solid and it just seemed like way too much dirt everywhere. Though I think it'll be a pretty easy fix and it'll make it look so much better. I finally decided on a soil pattern and I went with columns instead of rows. This was a trust the process kind of build for me, because right around here I started feeling like maybe I shouldn't have done this and it was a bad idea. But I am really happy with how it turned out, so it was all worth it. Now that I've got the layout all figured out, I can go in with the light dirt and just fill in all these empty spaces real quick. Then I can get our produce and start planting it. Changing the farm to this orientation actually made more room for planting things, so I'm going to be getting a little bit creative with beach balls and cushions to make it look like we have more produce than we actually do in the game. After struggling for way too long on trying to place that garden lantern, I was finally able to move on to digging up the rest of our produce. Now that we've got most of the produce scooped up, we can continue filling in the rows. I have a little bit of an idea when it comes to replanting. Mainly, I'm just making sure that we don't have two produce that are the same height next to each other. Now I'm going to clean up a little bit by filling in these holes and putting grass where the soil was. This will give me a clean slate to put our new pathing down. At this point, I wasn't entirely sure yet where I wanted to place the wheat, so I continued working on the path and figured that would come to me later, which thankfully it did. I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy with this path. It's pretty much going to be a straight line, except I will be breaking it up and making it in patches rather than just one giant long stretch of dirt, which is pretty much what we had before and I didn't really like that, so I'm going to try my best to not repeat that mistake. The checkout stall is pretty much going in the same place, but I do have a few more items to decorate it with. But before we can get to decorating, I need to figure out this dirt splotch that I'm going to be placing it on. I'm not actually going to be placing any of the new items just yet. I was feeling a little bit on a roll with the pathing, so I'm just going to continue that and get that all over with before we start decorating again. Pretty much all I end up doing is turning this giant section of pathing into 3 separate patches, which isn't anything too crazy, so let's get back to decorating. This is where I'm getting a little bit creative, and I'm pretty sure I saw this idea somewhere on Pinterest. But the beach ball has a watermelon swatch, so if you place it on top of a code that looks like some leaves, you can make it look like you're growing watermelons. I'll also be doing something similar a little bit later on with the Mums cushion to make it look like we're growing cauliflower. Here you can kind of see how I broke up that large section of pathing that leads to Nan's house, but I'll give you a better look at that later, since right now I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay out my sugar. And next to the sugar is going to be the Mums cushions that are secretly going to be the cauliflower. I'm also trying to remember to use a lot of garden lanterns within my builds because I haven't decided if this island is going to be saved in the day or at night, so we might need them. Well, I'm going to have to customize these to be white, but I just want to see what it looks like with the cauliflower here. We're almost done with the farm redo and I'm so excited. I'm really happy that I decided to redo it because I think this looks way better than how I had it before. I also like to think that my decorating skills have improved quite a bit since the beginning of this island, so it's nice to come back to one of my original favorite builds and make it look a little bit better. I love that she's just been chilling out here while we've been redecorating, and in a dress that I gave her a little bit ago. I'm glad to see she likes it, though I did look up what dresses Nan will wear if you give them to her, so I knew she would ahead of time. I wish I could smell flowers like that, but I'd be going into a sneezing fit if I did. I don't really remember what I was doing. Oh, that's right. We're gonna go ahead and customize the Mum cushions to be white to look like cauliflower. I'm headed to the cemetery where we have that storage cabinet so I can get some customization kits, and I realized that I forgot to show you that I put in a pergola in our flower field. What do you think of it? I think it adds some much needed height to the area. Alright, now that we've got the cushions customized, we can go ahead and place them. I read somewhere that cauliflower and sugar can grow really well together. Now Nan is examining the tulips with her book on them. She's definitely my favorite villager this week. I can't remember if I mentioned this the first time we decorated the farm, but this is going to be a self-service farm. So you pick whatever you want and you tally up your total and just place your cash in the donation box. Well, that looks a little bit funny. I thought this donation box was going to be a lot smaller. I thought it would look really cute on a stool, but this thing is so gigantic, I think I'm just going to have to put it on the ground. That gap is going to bother me. I really wish I could push this box all the way up against the stand. I thought turning it would help, but it did not. I'm still waiting on one more watermelon ball, but the farm is pretty much done. So let's do a little walkthrough before moving on to our next task of the day. So I'm pretty sure Gonzo is never going to leave, so let's go put his house in a more permanent spot and get him off the beach. I should probably also get some more wheat fields to place up here behind Nan's house, but I think I already bought my 5 items for the day, so hopefully I remember to do this later. Why yes, in fact I am moving Gonzo to the farthest corner of my island. I'm hoping he'll stay up here and I won't bump into him as much. This is a great spot. No rethinking needed. Just when I think I've gotten the last of these flowers, I find another patch somewhere on my island. So we're just gonna scoop these up real quick and toss them. I'll be back for these last 2 flowers. Now that we've gotten those flowers all scooped up, there's only one task left of the day, which is planting a few trees. A little while back, I placed a few tiles of code around to help me figure out where I wanted to plant trees, so this should go by pretty quick. I don't think I'll be able to fit 2 trees here, but I'm going to try. I also don't really have any trees of the correct height, so we're gonna have to let these grow in for a few days. I think I can only fit 1 tree here as is, but maybe I'll extend this little cliff section 1 more row south and I can fit another tree or 2. I'm not going to be doing that today, so hopefully I also remember that for later. Maybe I should start writing these things down. Alright, let's see if we can fit another tree in here. Oh, it'll actually let me plant another tree here. I hope this one will actually grow. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to pick up all of these weeds. I should have done it a long time ago because they have spread like crazy, but I'm putting it off as long as I can. Though I'll probably actually need to get to some of it today. I've got just a few more trees that I want to place, and then we can time travel to get a few of these trees grown in. Hello! It's been a few days, both in-game and in real life, and as you can tell, I did a little bit more than just time traveling to get the trees grown in. The other night, I finally decided to tackle some of the weed situation that we had going on back here. I got all cozied up on the couch with my Switch and used a Season of Survivor to distract myself while pulling all of the weeds. And then I got excited by how good it was looking, so I decided to plant some bushes and flowers. We made so much progress today. I'm so happy with how the island is coming along. But I'm gonna get going for today. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me while we continue to build the island. If you have any fun island suggestions, feel free to leave them below. And I'll catch you next time, where we'll be doing something other than building. See ya there! Bye!